Good morning. Someone is feeling a little bit grumpy today, so we are gonna see how today turns out, but the plan for today is not much. We're just gonna kind of see where things take us. All I really know is that I want to make curry for dinner, chicken tikka masala and naan bread. And I've made this once before and it turned out really good. It was delicious. And I think Indians kind of like the ultimate comfort food. And it's probably the coldest day of the year so far for us. So I have a feeling it is gonna be a pajamas all day and Indian for dinner kind of day. What do you think? Does that work for you? Does that fit with your schedule, babes? Perfect. It's a plan. I don't know what it is, but I feel extra tired today. Probably because I have a baby. So I've enlisted Daniel to make us some late morning cappuccinos. Thank you. And I'm really looking forward to it because I feel like I need a caffeine boost. I actually stopped drinking coffee right after I gave birth to this beautiful human right here. I just felt really weak and shaky for the first few days after giving birth. So I didn't want to have caffeine because I felt like that would just make things feel a lot worse. And then I just kind of got used to not having coffee every morning. So I switch and I drink black tea in the morning now. So this is probably the second cup of coffee that I've had in over 3 months. So it's pretty good. I feel like I'm not a coffee addict anymore.
Lame.
What do you think, girl? This little girl was a little bit grumpy, but then I checked her diaper and she had one of my hairs in her diaper. And I remember reading that that can bother babies and kind of make them grumpy. And sure enough, it's true. So I need to always remember to like go through a mental checklist of, is she fed? Does she have a clean diaper? Is there a hair in her diaper? And then that way, you know, I'm kind of ruling out all the basic needs to make sure she's good, she's in a good space. But I find myself pulling off hair from her all day long, my hair, and off of me. I'm just shedding so much recently, which I think is pretty normal for postpartum. But I thought it wasn't gonna happen to me because for the first 3 months, I didn't lose any hair. And I was like, yes, I'm not gonna have postpartum hair loss. But then when it started shedding, I looked it up a little bit more and I read that it only usually starts around 3 months postpartum, which is where I'm at right now. And so I was like, oh, well, I guess I wasn't so lucky. But I think it's normal, and I read that it should kind of clear up within a year. So hopefully it starts slowing down soon, because there is seriously, my hair is everywhere. So Phoebe did fall asleep while I was nursing her, but I was FaceTiming my dad to figure out stuff for our trip to South Africa, and she woke up because I was talking. And it's been about 2 hours of me trying to get her to go back to sleep. I tried nursing her back to sleep and that didn't work because there was no letdown and she really wanted lots of milk. She kept pulling off the boob and looking up at me like, "Mom, where is it? I need it." And I felt really bad for her because I could see she was so tired, so sleepy. So I was like, this is not gonna work. So I went and I bounced her on our exercise ball, and I was bouncing her and she was looking up at me and I could see she was so tired. Her little eyelids were like so heavy. She was doing this, but she was just fighting sleep. But I persisted and she eventually fell asleep. So while she's sleeping, I'm gonna get started on making the curry. And I figured out last time it's really important to like prep the marinade hours before you're gonna cook it, because it just makes the chicken so nice and tender. So that's what I'm gonna do now. And I'm actually gonna make a couple of changes to the recipe based off of last time. I thought there was a little bit too much tomato sauce or pasta sauce in it. I just found it a bit too tomatoey and then not enough heavy cream. So I'm gonna make those changes, less tomato sauce and more cream, and see if it turns out. I'm really trying to replicate the Chicken Tikka Masala that we get from the Indian place that's close to us. So hopefully those changes will make it more like that. So I've gotten all the spices out that I need for the curry, and I'm gonna work smarter, not harder this time, because it's a lot of the same spices in the marinade as in the sauce. So I got 2 bowls out, and while I make the marinade, I'm gonna go ahead and measure out the spices for the sauce in this small bowl, because last time I did the marinade, put everything away, and then came to do the sauce and realized I'm just doing the same thing over again. So working smarter, not harder. This little girl woke up far too early from her nap, so I just put her in a carrier and nursed her, and now she's sleeping. So I'm gonna keep doing the curry stuff that I need to do and hope that she'll stay sleeping. I've never done this before, so I'm hoping it works. Look how beautiful these spices look. I am so excited to eat this curry. I've prepped everything that I can prep for the curry. So now I'm gonna start prepping for the naan bread. That way everything's ready to go when it comes time to actually making everything. It's a little too early to actually start the cooking process, but I figure I can get all the ingredients together as much as possible to minimize the work that I have to do later. She is still sleeping, so this method seems to be working well. I've cooked with her in a carrier before, but she's always been awake. So this is the first time I'm doing it while she's sleeping. She kind of stirs every now and again, so I'm just trying to be really delicate with my movement. It seems to be working, so maybe this is something that I'll keep in mind for the future because it's so helpful. She just does not like to nap independently for whatever reason. How I get her to take successful naps is to let her sleep on me, but then that means that I can get absolutely nothing done. So this is a great alternative where I can still be mobile and get what I need to get done, and she can take a nap. So this is great. I've got the onions cooking and getting soft. So basically how this recipe works is you put the chicken with the marinade and cook it each side for like 2 minutes, and then you take the chicken off. And it said to clean out the pan in between, but I have a baby and that didn't happen. So I didn't clean out the pan. I just put the onions in, and then I'm gonna start building the sauce. So adding the tomato sauce and water and all the different spices, and then you blend that so that it's nice and smooth. And after that, that's when you add in like the heavy cream and butter and some sugar. So yeah, I'm in the onion phase, and I've got my naan bread resting, and I'm gonna have to roll it out in about 10 minutes. So we are kind of in the middle of things. I did a very bad job at dividing the naan into 3 equal pieces. This one is a lot bigger than the other 2. But I'm just waiting for my pan to get really hot, which it's kind of steaming now, so I think it's hot enough. And then I'm gonna cook the naan and then transfer it to foil and put butter and garlic on it. I'm gonna go ahead and put the fan on because last time I did this, I set the fire alarm off, and I'm hoping that doesn't happen again. Everything is pretty much done. The naan's done and it's staying warm in this foil. I got the rice on, and then the curry is simmering. But just take a look at the aftermath. It is definitely a messy process, partially because I'm trying to do the naan and the curry at the same time, and it's just kind of a lot to multitask. And I did the majority of this with Phoebe in a carrier. So, you know, all things considered, pretty proud that I even managed to finish this meal. But it just smells so good in here. I can't wait to eat it. Yeah, thankfully Daniel agrees to do the dishes, and he doesn't mind, especially when I make him yummy Indian food. So that is a good compromise. But yeah, it's a little much.
Still stiff. She farted. You are heavier. It's getting harder to do this with you. Hi. 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 Yeah.
So final thoughts on the curry. It is delicious, and it is the exact comfort food that I was hoping for. It takes a lot of work. I always forget how much work it takes, but it turns out really good. I like the changes that I made to the recipe. I would definitely recommend making those changes. So doubling the cream and cutting the tomato sauce in half, and doubling the sugar. Some of the chicken's a little tough. I wish I could have marinated it for longer, but I didn't get around to starting this until too late. So, oh well.
Baby life.
But Phoebe is over here in her bouncer, just chilling, letting us eat our dinner. This is actually very rare. She normally starts to get fussy around dinner time, and one of us has to hold her and bounce her while the other of us eats. But her nap was a little bit later today, so she's actually very happy, which is nice because we get to eat dinner together for once.
Maybe that's the way to do it.
Yeah, just
Late naps.
force her to stay awake, and so she's dead tired
All day.
by like 3 p.m. But after dinner, oh, I think she's blessing us with a poop.
Thank you, baby girl.
Either that or farts. But after dinner, we are just gonna get her ready for bed and call it a day. After dinner, there is nothing else. Dinner's the end.
Life turns off after dinner.
Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed making curry with me.